We are back with another eBay foreign coin mystery lot, and it came in the mail today. Before I open this, I will point out that the profile, the thumbnail that I made for this video is actually taken straight from the seller's eBay listing. And what was here is he called it a 6-pound lot of world coins. And on top of that, as a sweetener, he's added several crown-sized coins onto it. Now, looking through it, I think I had most of them already, but crown-sized coins have some pretty good trade value, and I thought that was great. The total price of this was $29, but the shipping was $22. And so the first thing I'm going to point out here is that, let me have the package here. This was shipped by UPS Ground Advantage. And this could have been, he charged $22 for shipping, which is probably what it's going to cost to mail about 7 pounds on something like this. So let me give you a comparison here. If he had put this in, and I'm pretty much telling you this in case you decided to try and do the same thing, he could have put this whole thing in a small flat rate shipping priority box and saved a few dollars. This, I forget the going rate on something like this, but it's close to about $12 for one of these. It's how, when I've made my eBay lots, that's how I ship them. You could have done a medium-sized box, which is 3 times the size of the one that I just showed you, and that would have been $17. So I think he made a mistake on here. I would have paid more on the sales price if I could have gotten it less for shipping, and he could have pocketed more, or he could have just reduced the price. So that's the first thing I'm going to point out. But based on the size of the box, I think he took one of these small flat rate shipping boxes and wrapped it with this shipping paper. I don't know why he did that, but just thought I wanted to point that out before I open this up. So I'm going to take a moment and get into this package and see what we've got on the inside. That'll be the first time I've seen a package wrapped in duct tape, but as I get into it, sure enough, the box on the inside was a flat rate shipping box. So let me go ahead and slide that out. I'd say maybe it's wise to use some duct tape like that. I can't say that I've ever seen it, can't say that I've ever used it, but I've got some more tape to pull off. I've now removed all of the tape that was on this inside box, and I sure hope the inside contents are in a bag, because otherwise everything is about to fall apart on me. So they're pretty loose in there. So I'm going to have to slowly pull things out, but we're going to start with the crown size coins that I can pull out. So here's one of these crown size coins that I've been talking about. I think I have all the Great Britain crowns that they have made, but this one is, if I remember, this one is the 90th birthday of the Queen Mother. Maybe it's the 80th birthday. So those are pretty good. Here's another one that I see right in front. I wouldn't call this one a crown, but it is a nice coin. It's going to be from French Polynesia. It is a 50 francs. Featuring Moorea Harbor. I will point out that I think this was very early, maybe the first year this was made. This is the rare version. It's missing the letters IEOM across the bottom of this coin. Now, I forgot to mention that right after I made this purchase, the seller, well, the all-in price here is $29 for the lot, $22 for shipping. That's $51. That's the all-in price. I live in Tennessee, where there is not a sales tax on foreign currency, which is great for me. And so that I wanted to point that out. So I'm all in $51 on this. That comes to about $8 to $9 a pound, which is good. And he wrote me and said, I think you got the best deal on eBay. So as we continue to pull out some more of these flips, this one is another British crown. This is the one that I think is the most popular these days. It is the wedding of then Prince Charles to Lady Diana Spencer, Princess Diana. I'd say those usually go for about $3, so it's good anytime I can pick up some of those. Pulling some, trying to get all the crown ones out first. Here's another one, and this one is I believe this one is called the Silver Jubilee of the reign of Queen Elizabeth. So 1977 was the 25th year in office. So here she is horseback. Those are good. I see a little bag in here, and I suppose that the seller here just had everything in a bag, and it's just came loose in shipping. So I'm not going to spend the whole time going through every coin that's in this lot, but I'm going to pull out the ones that I think are more interesting. I will say that the only picture on the lot was the one that was on the thumbnail, and you couldn't see most of it. What I could see was sort of common, but you don't find these Israeli. These were early coins after Israel became a country in the 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. And so this is, I think it's called the 10 Pruta. For an aluminum coin that is that old, that's pretty nice shape. I see this one is pretty interesting. It's an Aruba 1 florin from 2006. So by this time the Netherlands were on the euro, so they still made these Beatrix coins for Aruba, and so that's a good one, I'd say. What is this one? This one's going to be an Israeli 10 Agarat. Those are fairly common. Here is a Spain 100 pesetas. Those are pretty good, but I've actually purchased a whole lot of them here lately. Here's one from Iceland. This one's in pretty good shape. Going to be a 5 kroner from 1974. Let's check out the zinc coin right here. It's going to be a World War II era coin from the Netherlands made out of zinc, a 1 cent from 1942. This was a design that was only used during World War I, so that's a pretty good one. Another zinc coin right here. This is going to be a 10 Groschen from Austria from 1943. That's a design that wasn't used as often. Let's dump a few more on the table here. Our first token for Kids Cafe. This one from Iceland is going to be a 1 krona from 2007, featuring some kind of fish. I see there's another one of those. Here is the 100 krona. A couple years ago I got a whole bunch of these in 1 year. Features a different fish. The 100. Seeing a lot of coins from Iceland in here. Here's the aluminum 1 krona from 1976. Here's one from Zambia from 1968. A tin ngui, featuring I think that's a hornbill. That's a pretty good one for trade. Lots of Iceland coins in here. We've got an older copper 1965 Auror. So this one has 4 fish. These coins were made out of 2 different metals, all of the modern ones. So I'd always double check it with the price guide. Here's another one. So here's one from Peru. I'm guessing this is going to be a half sol or a whole sol. It is the half a sol. This one's in really good shape since these brass coins tend to tarnish really easy. That one's from 1957. Looking at this Indian, probably a new paisa from 1966 with a diamond mint mark. Pretty well worn. Here is a diamond shaped 15 cents from 1966. This is probably the coin from the Bahamas I find the least. although it's still fairly common. From Denmark, we have Frederick the Ninth, 1 krona. Here's a modern coin from Ecuador. A lot of these were made in year 2000, but this one's 2003, the 5 centavos. 1 Montalvo. Here's an older halfpenny from 1919. They're going to be with George V on it. What token is this? Monkey bars. From Panama. $0.05 coin, 5 centésimos, featuring Sarah Sotelo. So this was not a 1-year coin. That one lasted a little bit. Here's the modern 10 koruna from the Czech Republic. Now the 20 koruna. So lots of good trade pieces here. Nothing so far that I think is particularly unusual. It's been a while since I've picked up one of these OPA red points. It's been so while that I forgot exactly what these were, but you'll find these in places that have a lot of tokens. This was an American token from about World War II days. They come in red and blue. Panamanian tenth of a Balboa, size of the United States dime. The 20 para from Yugoslavia from 1965. There's a year that I got a whole bunch of those. Another one from India, 1957, a 5, probably a new paisa. That was in decent shape. $0.25 from the Bahamas from 2000. Here's one of the last 100 lira. This is the common circulating version for about the last decade before they went to the euro. That was from 1994, and it's a smaller design. The 1 groszy from Poland, 2004. So far I'm seeing a lot of things that are good trade pieces, but nothing too unusual. For the from the older French coins from the 30s and 40s, I don't find as many of the 10 francs here. But that one is another one that's a good trade piece, I would think. Going to see if we can get the whole bag out of here. Let's see if we can fit this in our on our table without just everything coming loose. So yeah, a lot there. Oh, I like these. This one's going to be from Egypt. It's a 25 piastres from 1993. And even though that one's not that old, I usually don't find it that good condition. So that one very well could be an upgrade. What's this one right here? Usually don't find the 100 peso that shiny. So I like that one. Another token. Get this one from Nepal out of here. This one is a 2. And so this one's not as common, I don't think. I find the 1 fairly often, but it looks like a date of 2029. I believe they draw their ones like a 9, so it's really 2021. But this wasn't just a small number of years ago. They use a different calendar than us. So that's not one that I've found lately. That's kind of gross. This one almost looks like it could have been a proof at one point. I will point out with this one, this comes from a short-term design from the Bahamas where they were transitioning from no longer putting Queen Elizabeth on it. So they called it the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, but for a short time they had both the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and Queen Elizabeth on it. So that is a short-term transition version of that coin. Here is from the British Caribbean territories, now known as the Eastern Caribbean states. Here's the larger 2 cents coin from 1965. That's a larger coin. This is a good one from Iceland right here, featuring their Parliament building from 1978. So that's a 50 kroner. I like that one. Here's a bimetallic coin from Turkey. It's the modern 1 lira. The date of 2010, so they already dropped the new lira from the coin by that time. What is this one right here? Oh, it's another token. From Atlantis laser tag. Okay, you keep saying I'm going to pause and try to find out find the rare stuff. Oh, this is a good one. But I keep finding stuff to point out. I guess in a 6-pound bag you're going to find that. This one's going to be a modern coin from Morocco. (2002). If I had this, I bet it was in more well-worn shape than this one is. So that one is good. Alright, I keep seeing good stuff on here, but I'm going to have to spend some time and thin this out a little bit. Okay, I've thinned it down a little bit. We've got our next crown from Britain. This one is from 1965. This is the Winston Churchill. I think they made a total of 6 crowns while Queen Elizabeth was the queen. And so maybe it's a complete set. Here's one that is not a crown, but that's not really worth anything to me. I got a bunch of these in some mystery lots later this year. That's the very common 1 yen coin. Just some things that I'm mostly, since we don't have time to look at everything on here, I don't want to show off everything, especially things that have appeared in other videos recently. Here is a Dave & Buster's token for 2005. Do they still take tokens? I'm not sure. Another token from Arms Acres. And I feel I've heard that saying before, not sure quite where it's from. Here is the modern Bahamas. They've redesigned all their coins in the last few years. Here's the one with the pineapple on it. I really like that design. From 2016. From Belgium, here's the 50 franc from 1997. The same monarch was shown on smaller denominations as well. There's a €2 in here, and that's always worth a couple of bucks, just in exchange value if nothing else. This is the one from Italy, and I did see this, put this in a recent video. I think that is Dante, of the author of Dante's Inferno. From Singapore, we have the older version of their circulating coin. This is the 20 cents, featuring a swordfish. So if you like animals, that is a good one. I had pulled out another Singapore coin. Here we go. It is the 10-cent coin, featuring a seahorse. So always good to find the animal coins here. Here's one from El Salvador. That is a 2 centavos. That's a pretty tiny, probably aluminum brass coin. From Germany, before World War II, we've got a 5 Reichspfennig, 1935 with an F mint mark. But from the Third Reich, we do have another 5 Reichspfennig, a D mint mark. This one has tarnished quite a bit. It's dated 1940. Also from World War II era, we've got this coin from Japan. This one is a 10 sen. So year of the monarch there is year 11, I think. So we're looking about World War II days on that one. Another one from Bahamas. This was the original 1 cent coin, the largest version of the starfish 1 cent from 1966. Britain, smaller than a penny, 4 farthings make 1 penny. And so back in 1943, this was the design. It's about the same size as the United States 1 cent. Here's the version featuring George VI. But the farthing continued on to 1953, where we have it with Queen Elizabeth. From Nigeria, from 1976, we've got a 5 kobo. And I'm just going from memory, I think that's a coffee bean. Then this one's going to be from Chile. It is a 2 centimos. There is a Santiago mint mark at the very bottom. At the very top there is an E with a little O next to it. This is during their short-lived escudo system. This side featuring the Chilean condor. Always like to find those. From New Zealand, this is a 3 pence from 1958. I don't think they were using silver at the time, but that was in pretty good shape. So far, I don't know if there's anything in here that does have silver, but if it does, it would probably be this coin right here, which I do not recognize. This is the first thing that I completely don't think I've ever seen before. I think it's from Egypt. It's going to be a 2 of whatever it is. So it's from 1924, I think. The backwards 3 is their 4. So 2. I'm going to hold on to that one and take a look at it later. But here's a different number 2, something else that I didn't recognize. This one is going to be from, I think that means it's 1938. This one is definitely from Egypt. And I don't think that one's from silver. Going to be silver. From Peru, this is from 1987. This is the 20 centimos. From a short period of time where all of their coins featured Miguel Grau on it. From Dominican, we have a 25 centavos, so a quarter of a peso, with the Dominican logo on it. This one's fairly old. It's from 1885, from Austria. That one very well could be an upgrade, because I find this all the time, but usually it's in fine at best condition. Alright, I'm going to dig through a little bit more, see what else we've got here. Alright, I pulled a little bit more out of here. This one's going to be a 5 ore from 1936, fairly large copper coin from Norway during the reign of Haakon VII. So I like that one. Something else I found in a flip is this Israeli telephone token, and I did pick up one of these a little over a year ago. But what I remember about these, usually if you find a token that has just a big notch through the side of it, that usually does mean it is a telephone token. Someone was nice enough to put the year of 1966 on this one, but what I like about it so much is if you've ever seen an old-fashioned rotary phone, that's what I grew up with at my home. We've got a rotary phone on here. And so I love that. It reminds me of the United States dollar, where they had the program of Innovation Series, one from every state, did have a rotary phone. Let's see some other flips we've got in here. Here we've got one from Marshall Islands. So this is a country that really doesn't make a lot of circulating coins. They mostly make commemorative coins to sell to people in other countries. And this one is going to be one to the Heroes of Desert Storm. Probably didn't have this one. And then all the Marshall Islands coins are going to look like that on the back. So some people like those. Here's another really good one. This one was probably a proof at one time. So this is going to be a $1 from Jamaica, featuring first Prime Minister Bustamante. Must have been Prime Minister from 1962 to 1967. So this was probably a proof at one time. Looks like it might be a little bit scratched up. There's some pretty good shine to it. Here they've written proof on here. So that's a good one for sure. Now, This is one I was able to identify looking in the thumbnail. It's the $1 from Fiji. I wasn't sure I had it. Turned out I bought this coin from a dealer at a show in February. So I did have this coin, but now I have this coin for the second time. This is going to make an excellent trade piece. I paid $2 for it back in February. So let's pull the next coin and a flip out of here. Another one from Marshall Islands. This one does seem familiar to me. To the heroes of the Battle of Britain. So the 50th anniversary of that. So if you like military history, we got a pilot and a 1940 plane on this one from Marshall Islands. Next thing in a flip, just a very common 10 centavos from Mexico, 1967. Probably didn't need to be in a flip on that one. Here is the Korean 500 won. Always forget which side is up. Just looking on this side, I think this is up. But it features a flying crane. It's the 500 won from 1984. We got several good animal coins coming up. This one is the 1 penny from Ireland, using the old-fashioned Gaelic language. 1968. Here's another token from Israel, listed as the Israel Government Coin and Medallion Corp from 1998. So oftentimes I think these were included in mint sets, and some people will pay $1 for these. So this must be the 50th anniversary of the nation of Israel. So it features kind of the 7-point candlestick, I guess. The number 50 kind of integrated into the candlestick. So I have about 3 or 4 of those, but I did not have that one. From Bulgaria, a lot of the modern Bulgarian coins have the horseman and rider on here. Just going from memory, I think this comes from a famous painting. It's a 1 lev from 1992. Tiny little fish on here. And with the fish coins in this video, we've had a lot from Iceland. Here's one that didn't have a fish, but instead had something else from the ocean. We've got a crab on the 50 kroner. Let's go to animal coins in this one. Here is the very modern 1 baht coin from Thailand. So we find so many coins with Rama the 9th on it that this is the look of a coin with Rama the 10th. So this one's has not been around for, I don't remember the date that he took over, but I feel like it's been in the last 5 years. We have a British sixpence with George VI on it. There is his monogram from 1949. It was not silver at this time. Here is a coin with a stingray. This is going to be another one from Iceland. This one's a 5 aura coin from 1981. We had the starfish earlier. Here's the second design, or maybe the third design of the starfish. So it's smaller than the one we saw earlier, but it has 3 starfish on it. There's even a smaller version than that I found fairly often recently. Our next zinc coin is going to be a 1 ore. This one sadly is pretty badly worn, but again, it is something that I was going to say Iceland again, but this one's going to be Denmark. Christian the 10th monogram. Looks like a date of 1941 on there, although that one is pretty well worn. Here is another token. This one is a souvenir from the Benjamin Franklin Memorial, and I feel like I had one of these souvenirs before, but I don't remember it in aluminum. And then one of the nicest things I pulled out so far was this one, which I'm not sure that I recognize this one. So here we have a large, now that I see the date of 2010 on here, I'm certainly thinking I don't have this one. So it's a Republic of France coin in aluminum. So it's the French Polynesia coin from 2010. I don't remember them making it in this design so recently. So that one, I would call that one a highlight. All right, let me pause some more as I dump a little bit more out of, a little more out of the bag. Now let's take a look at this French Polynesia from 20 franc. Earlier I mentioned the first one I pulled out did not have the IEOM across the bottom. This one does, so that's what it looks like in 2011. These were made in Paris because it has the Paris Privy marks on it on either side of the date. Go ahead and pull out the next flips on here just to see what they might be. This one is going to be a token, I suppose. We've got Lincoln. Pretty rough shape on here. Peace, unity, and freedom. So I think this is a replica of the Lincoln birthplace, which is in rural Kentucky, a place I visited many years ago, not that far from home. I think that's what's depicted on there. From India from 2009. That's in really nice condition. It's going to be a 5 rupees. I have several of this coin, but I don't know if I have any that shiny. Here is a 1 cash coin from China. Since there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of varieties of these, since they used this design for practically a millennium, I'm going to say that one's probably about 200 or so years old, just based on the ones that I've been able to identify in the past. Another one that's in fairly the same rough shape, probably the same time period on that one. From Venezuela, looks like a 2 bolivars. From 1986, with Simon Bolivar on it. A little bit less common than the 1 bolivar. Next we have a 100 halala from Saudi Arabia. This one is really nice. They're going to have a year of 1976 on here. So it's a larger Saudi Arabian coin, so that not as many people have that one. Next one I pull up, we've got one more from China. I'm going to guess it's about the same age. This one seems to be rougher shape than some of the others, but you usually find that coin in really rough shape. Here from Australia, we've got the oh, my brain just forgot the name of the platypus. There we go. Yeah. Another 20 from French Polynesia. See, that token is from Atlantis. What's this right here? This is a, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, this is a really rare one from France. From 1944. When I found this one for the first time earlier this year, I was surprised that I'd never even noticed it in my catalog. This is a 1-year coin during World War II. I think it was actually minted in the United States. And so this one is a really tough to find coin, I believe. So that one is certainly a winner. Here's one from Ethiopia, featuring the lion. That one's going to be a 50 centime, I think is the name of their currency there, or probably half of a burr. Got an Australian halfpenny, 1953. I like the kangaroo. So we've got Queen Elizabeth on that one. Got another red opal point. You think about this token? Non-negotiable. All right, doing a quick search. Anything else catches my eye? Well, from Poland, we've got the 1 zloty from 1992. There's a 1/4 Balboa from Panama, 1975. All right, let me pause and dig through it some more. All right, so we're going to look at the stuff we still have on the screen. I do like to point this one out. Denmark has not switched to the euro yet. And so this is one you might find that still has some pretty good foreign exchange value. I think that's going to be worth about 70 cents in United States money if you find that one. We've found a lot of good things from Iceland so far. Here is the 2 kroner from 1946. I like that one. We've seen other sea animals. Here we have a couple of dolphins on the 5 kroner. So we're seeing pretty much everything Iceland has had to offer in this video. But I think that's the last one from, oh, here's one more from Iceland. This one is the 1 krona from 1940, Christian X. On that one, we have a coin from Fiji from 1985 featuring I believe that is called a palm fan, I think. Here's a modern coin from Peru in brilliant condition from 2021. 10 centimos. This is a design that's been used for, I'm going to say about 25 years now. That does have subtle differences over the years, so that's one that I always check in the catalog to see if I have it or not. Here's a coin from Italy with a stalk of wheat from 1929. Has an R Rome mint mark at the bottom. 5 centesimi, featuring Emmanuel III. That one's in decent condition. Okay, here's an older coin from Ecuador, 1946, going to be a 1 sucre. I believe this one is also from Egypt, has 2 stars on the shield with the eagle looking to the left. Going to be a 5 piastres from 1967, I think. Another modern, another Bahamas design in the transition period. I'm showing off this one because it's shinier, but now there's a lot of spots on that one. But we've got the sailboat design from 1972. It almost looks like it could have been a proof at one point. There's one from Poland from 1983. This one's going to be a 2 zloty. From Turkey, here's a very small coin, a small aluminum 5 kurus from 1975. And then I thought I had a smaller kurus on here, but I guess not. So we're going to go to this one also from Turkey. It's a 25 lira from 1987. So this was pretty soon, about a decade before the hyperinflation really took off there. For another token, here's one of a roller skating. From Yugoslavia, here is a 1 dinar from a different year. It's 1968. So here's a zinc coin that hadn't turned black yet, so I always want to highlight these. This is a 2 ore from Denmark. And so it's like you need to save these before they turn kind of that blackish color. But this is what a zinc coin will look like when it's not that old, although this one somehow has not changed colors since it was made in 1969. That's good. From Somalia, there's a coin with an elephant on it. One of the more common coins that I find from Somalia. It's the 1 centesimo from 1950. It was made in Rome, so I actually did spell out Roma on that coin. Let's go to this one from Morocco, featuring the Empire Cherfian. It's going to be a 1 franc. And at least I think this one is Morocco. Or is it Tunisia? I'm having trouble remembering that. Let's move on to a coin from Finland. This one's going to be a modern 5 mark. So I like how it has the alternating patterns of birds flying both directions at the bottom of this coin. But we flip this one over and it has from 1983, it has some kind of ship that has to make its way through the icy waters. Then from Aruba, we have a 1 florin from 2016. with a new monarch. This time it's going to feature King Willem Alexander. Now, before I head out, I wanted to go back and double check on a couple of those Egyptian coins again. This was the 2 millenniums. It says that this was only made in 1938. And so the condition isn't great on here. I've marked that I have it, but I didn't mark the condition. So, what condition are we going to say that? Extra fine, very fine. According to the catalog, very fine on that coin is $4. So that's a really nice find that's in here. But we had one other Egyptian coin that was an even older. And so this one is, it's going to be this 2 millenniums with Fuad, King Fuad on here. Now this one was in really rough shape. So I don't know if I could even call that fine condition. I don't know if that's fine, very good. You can decide on that. This catalog only gives us uncirculated and very fine at $3, so not quite that good, but it is a coin that I did not have, so at least this one's going to serve a spot in my collection. So that does have a date of 1924 on it, so that's a win for sure. Alright, so I've got a bunch more videos coming up after this one. I certainly think this was worth the $51 that I paid for everything that was in there, even though I'm sad I didn't have a chance to show off every coin. I wish I had time to make a video like that, but I'm not sure that people would watch a coin that lasted 3 hours. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.